Kazuki sat at the corner table, fingers drumming the worn wood. Aki was late.
She's real. The woman I've been messaging for weeks is finally here.
The door chimed. A woman with a sleek ponytail and red ribbon stepped inside. She scanned the room and froze. Ruby eyes locked on his face.
You? Number. No, number.
It can't be. The woman I've fallen for online is my academic nemesis.
Her phone screen glowed with his dating profile. His own showed her picture, the same Aki he'd messaged for weeks.
Akari? The one who's beaten me in every exam since freshman year? This is a nightmare.
Both moved to flee, stood up, stepped back, then stopped. Neither could leave. The coffee shop held its breath. 4 years of bitter rivalry now faced a single impossible question. What do you say to the enemy you were falling for? Freshman year. The first exam results were posted on a crisp autumn morning. Kazuki searched for his name.
Number 1 again. That name, Akari Tanaka. She turned away without a glance.
That was the beginning. 4 springs of cherry blossoms and 4 autumns of cold silence.
Every lecture, she sat in the front row. Every test, her hand rose first. I clawed for second place behind her.
They never spoke outside of competition. Glances were sharp, words only about grades.
Junior year, midterms. Rank 2. Again. I stopped counting the defeats after the first dozen.
Spring passed into winter and back. The rivalry calcified into a habit, a wall, present day. Kazuki slumped on his bed, the sting of another second-place finish fresh.
That woman, she's infuriating. She's impossible. And she's seared into my every failure.
His phone lay silent. No messages, no plans. Just the bitter taste of a name he couldn't escape. The door swung open. Kyo leaned against the frame, grin already in place.
Still moping over exam rankings. Dude, you need a distraction. Let me show you something.
It's not moping, and I am not interested in another gaming app, Kyo.
Kyo held up his phone. A clean interface with smiling women.
Not games. Real people. You are 21, not dead. Just try. You've been a ghost since that last test. Maybe a little romance will reboot your brain.
Kazuki sighed, took the phone, and scrolled, then stopped. Aki, 21, English lit. A bright smile, glasses off, hair down. His thumb hovered. Swipe right. Instant pulse. Match.
She's quick. Funnier than I expected. This might not be a total disaster.
That night, Kazuki slept with his phone on the pillow. For the first time in months, something felt lighter. Weeks blurred. Late nights, debating novels. Early mornings, sharing bad puns.
I've never met anyone who gets my weird tangents. She even quoted my favorite obscure poet.
When they weren't messaging, he reread their conversations. A warmth crept into spaces long occupied by rivalry. Then, one Tuesday, a message. So, coffee? I know a place. He replied, I'll be there. Tuesday, 3 p.m. He changed his shirt 3 times. Nerves made his hands shake. Kyo laughed from the doorway.
I am actually doing this. Meeting a woman. I've only seen in a profile picture. What if she's disappointed?
The cafe was warm, smelling of cinnamon and old books. He chose a corner table with a view of the door. He typed, I am here, at the corner table. The reply came instantly, walking in now. The door chimed, a familiar silhouette, dark hair, red ribbon. His smile froze before it could form.
That red ribbon, that rigid posture, number. It can't be, not her.
The silence between them was a physical weight, a dense fog that swallowed sound. The cafe's gentle hum faded to nothing, leaving only the thud of his heart.
This is a mistake. He managed. You weren't supposed to be her.
You think I am not aware of that? Her voice shook despite the venom.
Both turned toward the door, muscles coiled. Neither took a single step. 4 years of cold avoidance locked their limbs harder than any command.
One coffee, jaw tight. Then we never speak of this, ever.
Fine. She sat, back stiff as a ruler.
He dropped into the opposite chair. The barista appeared, overly bright smile, cutting the tension like a poorly aimed knife. 2 black coffees arrived. No words. The cups clinked against the worn wood as if sealing a pact. 20 minutes passed, each sip a reluctant countdown. Kazuki watched the bob of her throat and hated that he noticed. The bitterness wasn't just the coffee.
This coffee is bitter. She didn't look at him.
Maybe it's not the coffee. Maybe your mouth just forgot how to taste anything sweet.
Did he just? That's exactly the kind of retort he'd type at 2 in the morning.
She snorted. A genuine, unguarded sound, then masked it with a cough.
Wait, you just laughed. The ice queen of the economics department actually laughed.
I did not laugh. I inhaled coffee fumes. There's a difference.
The clock on the brick wall ticked past 3:30. Neither noticed.
You quoted Murakami once in the chat. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional, I thought. Who is this woman?
You responded with a Kafka meme. I almost spilled my tea. No one ever follows Murakami with Kafka.
4 o'clock chimed. The cafe emptied and refilled around them, a blurred world they no longer inhabited. The conversation had shed its armor. They weren't rivals anymore. Just a man and a woman who'd already fallen in love through a screen.
I only made that profile to get my parents off my back. They've already picked someone for me.
So you weren't really looking for anyone. This was a decoy.
Then I met you. Suddenly I was staying up until dawn, laughing at a screen. It terrified me.
Kazuki watched her guard drop and felt the last of his own walls crumble. This was the real Akari.
I've been attracted to you for 2 years. Your intensity, I couldn't look away.
He saw me. All this time, he actually saw me. You hated me. I was sure I was just an obstacle.
An obstacle I couldn't stop measuring myself against. Turns out, that was something else.
For a breath, the cafe belonged only to them. Then something flickered behind her eyes, a door not yet opened.
Kazuki, there's something you don't know. Something I've hidden for 4 years.
Kazuki's hand froze on the table. The confession he thought they were building toward suddenly felt far heavier. Before a single word could escape, the barista's voice rang out. "Excuse me, we're closing in 5 minutes." The spell shattered. They rose like sleepwalkers. Kazuki dropped crumpled bills on the table. Neither spoke. Outside, the autumn night bit his cheeks. Street lamps painted pools of yellow on the pavement.
I can't leave it like this. But if I tell him the truth, everything between us will end before it begins.
You started something back there. What is it? You can't just walk away now.
There's something I should tell you. Something about why we're really rivals.
The night street fell silent. A single car passed, its headlights sweeping over them like a slow spotlight.
Why we're rivals? That started 4 years ago. What does that have to do with hidden secrets?
Akari took a shaky breath. And then she told him the truth, the one she'd locked away at 16.
4 years ago, your school and mine had a sister exchange. I was the one matched with you.
That empty desk next to mine. I spent a month preparing presentations. You never showed.
The memory surfaced with a sting, a classroom in autumn, a name crossed off a list, and a hollow confusion.
I withdrew a week before. My parents. They saw your photo in the acceptance packet.
My photo? Why would that matter? It was just a school exchange.
Akari's fingers dug into her bag strap. Her whole body was a locked vault fighting to stay shut.
I can't. They told me if I went.
Akari, breathe. Whatever happened, it didn't stop us from finding each other now.
A tear slid down her cheek, catching the lamp's glow. She looked at him then, truly looked, and saw no retreat, but the full truth still crouched behind her ribs. This was only the edge of a much older wound.
My older brother Ren, he loved a man. Our parents disowned him. When they saw your exchange photo, you looked too much like his ex. They forbade me from going near you.
So you made yourself my rival, so you'd never have to actually get close.
At orientation, I saw your name and my blood went cold. Competing was safe. I could keep you at a distance while my parents never suspected.
In her memory, she was 16 again, clutching a printed photo of a smiling boy. Her father's voice thundered, "He looks just like the one who corrupted your brother. You will not go." The photo was of Kazuki, though she hadn't known his name yet. It seared into her fear. That face was danger. Now, on this night street, she was trembling just the same, but Kazuki's voice was gentle, not thundering.
All this time, you were protecting yourself, and I just thought you hated my guts.
His fingers brushed her knuckles. A first touch, unpracticed and honest. She didn't pull away.
I am not your family's fear. I am not some symbol. I am just the man you've been arguing with for 4 years.
The wound was out in the open, but healing would require more than a single night. It would mean walking into the very storm she'd spent years running from. The silence that followed the confession was not empty. It was a held breath, waiting.
I want to meet your brother, Ren.
What? Why would you do that? He's a stranger to you.
Kazuki held her gaze, unflinching. The weight of the request was a door he was choosing to open.
If I look like the man your family rejected, maybe seeing me alongside him will make them reconsider.
He's not running away. He wants to walk into the heart of my family's worst shame. You don't owe my family anything. They've hurt you too, even if you didn't know.
This isn't about debt. It's about facing what broke you, together. I am not letting you carry this alone.
Kari searched his face for any trace of hesitation. There was none. Only the same quiet intensity she'd competed against for years. Now a shield, not a weapon.
Okay. I'll reach out to him, but it won't be easy. He hasn't set foot in our parents' house in years.
3 days later, a door painted soft blue swung open before they could knock. A man with Akari's sharp features but gentler eyes smiled from the threshold.
So you are the infamous rival. Akari's told me about you, the one who always came second.
They stepped into a living room flooded with afternoon sun. A man with lighter hair was pouring tea, grinning like he already knew the punchline.
This is the love they tried to erase. It just looks like home. Don't mind him. Ren's been practicing that line since you called. I am just here to make sure he doesn't cry into the tea.
Yuto, please. This is already embarrassing enough.
I haven't spoken to my parents in years. They made their choice clear. But if you think there's even a sliver of a chance...
Ren's voice cracked on the word chance. Years of silence had worn it thin.
It's not about a guarantee. It's about giving them the chance to see what I see. A family that could still be.
Then I'll do it. For Akari, and maybe for myself. Let's have tea at the old house.
That evening, Akari sat on her bed, her phone pressed to her ear so long her fingers cramped. The dial tone felt like a verdict.
Mother, I'd like to bring someone to tea. Yes, Ren will be there. And someone else.
Her mother's reply was a thin whisper. Your father won't like it. But she didn't refuse. The silence that followed was permission enough. The night before the tea, Kazuki found her on the campus bench, staring at the stars as if they held answers.
You are shaking.
They might slam the door. Or worse, they might pretend nothing happened. I don't know which would break me more.
Then we'll face it together. I'm not going anywhere. Neither is Ren. We're a team now.
Kazuki took her hand and slid a folded sticky note into her palm. On it, in his messy script, T, 2 p.m. We do this together. She laughed softly, a wet, nervous sound, and folded it into her pocket. For a moment, the stars felt less distant. Tomorrow, they would walk into a house that had exiled its own son. But tonight, Under the cold autumn sky, they were not alone. A door slid open to a silence thick as incense. The Tanaka house had not changed. Clean lines, old wood, a chill that clung to the walls. The father sat like a carved statue, his nod a blade. The mother's greeting died in her throat.
Please, sit. Tea is ready.
The teacups rattled as she poured. The sound filled the room like a nervous heartbeat.
So, Ren, still living that lifestyle?
Ren's jaw locked. Beside him, Yuto's hand found his and squeezed a silent anchor.
I live my life honestly, father. That hasn't changed.
Honesty without decency is just rebellion. You brought a stranger to this house.
Akari's fingers whitened around her cup. Kazuki saw the tremor, the same helpless fury he recognized from every exam she'd dominated. The air thickened. The tea grew cold. And somewhere beneath the floorboards, 4 years of buried pain began to shift. The powder keg waited for a single match. The match struck when Akari's chair scraped the floor. She rose, voice low as a blade. That's enough.
You made me fear love. You made me push away the only person who saw the real me.
Insolence. This is not how we raised you.
You raised me to be a coward. You chose a stranger's face over my chance to know someone.
Kazuki reached for her arm, not to stop her, but to steady the ground beneath them both.
I will not sit here and be disrespected in my own home.
He stormed out, the door slamming behind him like a final verdict. The teacups rattled in the aftershock. Her mother's composure shattered into quiet sobs. She pressed a sleeve to her eyes, but the tears leaked through. Ren's shoulders shook. Yuto pulled him close, whispering something only they could hear. Akari stood rooted to the spot, breath ragged. The silence was worse than the explosion, but at least the lies had finally been spoken aloud. Silence stretched until the mother rose, each step a penance. She knelt before her son, hands trembling.
Ren, I am so sorry. I should have protected you.
It's a start, Mom. After all this time, it's a start.
She wept into his shoulder. The sound, broken and raw, was not defeat. It was a door scraping open. Akari slipped out, Kazuki a shadow at her side. The night street swallowed them whole. He reached for her hand. Not a question, just a fact. Her fingers wove into his like they'd been waiting.
I just screamed at my own father. Like some character in a drama I'd judge.
You spoke the truth. That's braver than any exam I've seen you take.
She laughed, a fragile, hiccuping sound, and tightened her grip. It was the first real laugh she'd let him hear. They walked without direction, just forward. The father's shadow still hung over the house, but the crack in its foundation was theirs. Autumn bled into winter, then spring. Study sessions became dates, arguments became banter. The library no longer felt like a battlefield.
I am dating my rival. The one who swore she'd crush me in every exam, and somehow I've never been happier.
One afternoon, her mother appeared at the campus gate, a bento box in hand and an anxious apology on her lips.
He reads the papers in his study mostly, but he hasn't thrown out the photo of you two from the festival. Slowly thinking, I think he calls it.
Ren started visiting again. Awkward teas turned into warm dinners. Yuto charmed them both.
She even asked for my recipe. The one she used to make before I left. A small thing, but I'll take it.
Senior year came with a chill, but they walked to the first lecture hand in hand. No more hiding.
Don't think this means I'll go easy on you in the finals. I intend to graduate top.
Wouldn't have it any other way, but I am warning you. This year, I am coming for your throne.
The father's door was still closed, but the distance felt thinner. Some storms take longer to pass. A month before graduation, a formal invitation arrived on thick paper. Dinner at the Tanaka residence. All family. Kazuki held it like a verdict.
Sit, eat first, then I have something to say.
Chopsticks clinked in painful silence. Then, before anyone could speak, the father set down his bowl and stood.
Ren, I was afraid. I was wrong. Please forgive me.
Ren's chair scraped backward. He crossed the distance in 2 steps and caught his father in an embrace. A sound like a wounded animal broke from the old man's chest. Mother sobbed into her sleeve. Yuto gently pressed a napkin into her hand. The table was no longer a battlefield.
And you, young man, take care of my daughter. She's fiercer than any exam.
I know, sir. She's beaten me for 4 years. I'd be a fool not to.
Akari buried her face in Kazuki's shoulder, her laugh wet and unguarded. For the first time, the word family didn't ache. Dinner stretched late into the night. Stories, apologies, and hesitant laughter filled the old house. The storm at last had passed. Graduation morning dawned, crisp and golden. Rows of black gowns rustled like dark wings across the quad, and Kazuki adjusted his cap, scanning for her. A notice board caught the sun. Final rankings. Akari Tanaka first, Kazuki second. He grinned long past the old sting.
I let you win. A graduation gift.
You wish. I earned it fair and square. You are just lucky I let you be my date.
They laughed, the sound lighter than it had ever been. 4 years of rivalry distilled into a single shared joke. Her family crowded around, mother snapping photos. Father stiff, but present. Ren held the camera with a knowing grin.
For the record, I'm still more charming, though.
Charm doesn't get printed on a diploma.
The shutter clicked, freezing them mid-banter. A portrait of a family rebuilt, with a man who was once a stranger now in its center. As the ceremony began, she nudged his elbow. I still insist I ranked first. He squeezed her hand. I wouldn't have it any other way. The graduation party filled the rented hall with music and chatter. Kazuki spotted her by the window, a glass in hand, her cap tucked under her elbow.
I am stealing you from the party. Not just from your textbooks, for once.
She set her glass aside and let him lead her to the quieter edge of the room, where the music was just a murmur.
Thank you for being my rival, now and always. I wouldn't have become half of who I am without you pushing me.
Don't get sappy. I'll still beat you in everything. Romance doesn't change the scoreboard.
He laughed, and before the sound could fade, she kissed him, soft and sure, as if proving her point.
I'll still beat you in every exam.
Looking forward to it.
The party swirled on without them, toasts, laughter, music leaking into the night. They stayed in their quiet corner, hands locked, a world reduced to breath and promise. That night, a rivalry became a vow. To challenge, to cherish, to never stop pushing each other forward. A small apartment, 2 sets of keys. Boxes labeled his and hers fought for space in the sunlit living room.
No, the bookshelf goes by the window. You are carrying it the wrong way.
A garden ceremony. Ren and Yuto exchanged rings under a canopy of string lights, their parents seated in the front row. Ren's smile was wide and unguarded, his father's eyes damp but present. Late one evening, Akari found their old chat. The messages still glowed with electric possibility, now settled into steady warmth.
Kazuki wrapped his arms around her from behind. What are you looking at? He murmured.
She leaned into him and tilted the phone. Us. The beginning of everything.
And in that story, a dating app match became a rivalry, then a bridge, then a home. The past was no longer a wound, but the foundation of who they had become. They'd faced the future, like they'd faced every exam together, pushing, refusing to lose to anything but each other. And so, their story continues, rivals, partners forever. His phone buzzed on the armrest. A message from Akari. Rematch. Study room at 7. Don't be late. He read it twice, a grin tugging at his mouth. Some things never changed. Empty study room. 1 table. Akari sat at the head, books stacked, chin resting on her hand. Her watch face glinted. The door creaked open.
You are late. I almost started without you.
I let you have a head start. Wouldn't want you to feel outmatched.
She pushed a textbook toward him, but her eyes held the real challenge, unchanged, unashamed.
We've come so far, and yet we always end up right here. I wouldn't have it any other way.
The night deepened, pages turned, and the comfortable rhythm of argument and agreement filled the room. Some rivalries never end. Some loves never need to. This was both.